Today we're going to take a closer look at the new Mechanicum Ursarax. These are the close combat equivalents for the Mechanicum, and they are coming in hot. Spiky bits. Make sure you stay in the trenches by becoming a supporter over on Patreon and also scoring yourself some free miniature swag in the process. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Check out our site, spikybits.com, for all the hot hobby tutorials, news, rumors on all your favorite hobby topics. And head on over to thelongwar.net. That's the home of the battle reports for exclusive content, early access videos, and more. Become a veteran of the Long War today. Welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. I'm Baer, and these are the brand new Mechanicum Ursarax, of course. This is a really exciting release for Forge World, I feel like. First off, Mechanicum don't get a lot of cool stuff, and it's been probably about 2 years since we've seen the rules for these, but we actually got models, and a lot of people were converting them out of the shooty versions of these guys. But now that these are out, they're basically like the Iron Man, you know, from the movie Iron Man, Marvel Comics and all that. For the Mechanicum, they're really neat. They got these little guns in their chest, and they can either have power fists or lightning claws, you know, your choice right there. Very, I guess they're kind of like the Dark Furies, you know, of kind of like the Raven Guard, I guess, but they're really cool looking. Now, this particular little sheet, you know, they come in a clam pack now. At Forge World is all about packaging. So you get this package here, and you kind of got to open it up. And never, you know, don't forget now that these little inserts have your instructions and things in them. We didn't used to get instructions, you know, with a lot of this stuff from Forge World. It just used to kind of come all ad hoc, and you just kind of had to figure it out. But now we're getting full color instructions, which I think are great because, you know, you can tell where the yellow surfaces or the yellow planes are. That's basically where your parts are supposed to connect, and then you have different options. Now, this particular kit right here has 27 different options. Now, not all of them are different, and of course there's more actual parts than that because, you know, you have left and rights and things, and then for each claw there's multiple claws, multiple fingers. But you kind of get the gist of it, and you can kind of see here in the breakdown like exactly how much of each you're getting. But, you know, seeing it on the little paper sheet here really doesn't do as much good as seeing it actually, you know, laid out on the tabletop here. Now, these are all things that we're going to assemble. We're going to do an assembly tutorial here, basically just kind of showing you how they go together here on the channel. And then also, once I get them together, I usually like to send these things out to my Patreon supporters, so, you know, they will be seeing some of the stuff come back to them in their swag shipments throughout, you know, the months heading into the fall here as I start working on these things. So a lot of familiar parts here. You got a new chest right here. You can kind of tell, like I said, they're very Iron Man-ish. They have the Volkite Incinerator is basically in their chest right here, and it kind of blasts out. They grab them and they kind of blast out from their chest, which I think is pretty neat. And then they got this huge ass turbine assembly thing that goes on their back. Because they are jump infantry, these guys are actually fast attack, so they're kind of like your basic jump troops, right? And then you got the little additional nozzles. You've seen these before on the normal guy, the normal versions of these guys. Some hooked barbs. The legs, nothing new there. Those are pretty standard legs that we've seen with their cousins that like to shoot more. And here's more thrusters and things right there. You got your 40 mil bases. These guys are basically Terminators, and they are they also can't sweep in advance either, actually, in game. And we'll go over the rules here in a second. I just want to show you a lot of the parts here. So you can kind of see some of the barbed hooks are very cool. And then you got these guys right here with the actual just thumbs and things. And then more of the leg sections, more of the arm sections. So they use a lot of familiar components, but they have new basically torsos right here, which are really good looking. Of course, you got the extra, the little hoses here to link everything to link up. And then there's the other one. So I don't know, I guess this thing just fell off somewhere along the way. So let's go over the little preview right here. So you've got your legs, which, like I said, nothing new there. And then you got your bottom, which is your waist. It kind of looks like a little trash can. That's where the waist goes. Then you got your different arms. Then you got your head, which are very similar to the existing heads that we've seen in the past right there. And then, of course, you've got the exhaust right there, which it's very Mechanicus-y, sure. And then you've got this huge ass ramjet intake that goes right on top of it. to form that kind of assembly right there, right? And then, like I said, you can switch it if you want to do claws or power fist. Power fist costs 10 points extra, I believe. And then you got your power cables, which, depending on how you do it, you're going to have to kind of bend them using a hot air gun or using some hot water, right? But we do have a tutorial up here on the channel on bending resin. It is very difficult. Well, mostly difficult, but you want to be careful that you don't basically burn your hand and things like that. Now, as far as rules goes for these guys, they're pretty cool. They got a lot of different things going for them. The basic squad is a squad of 3. They're 175 points, weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 3, because remember, they're not really for shooting, so to speak. They basically get short range kind of thing. Strength 5, toughness 5, 3 wounds, initiative 2, attacks 2, leadership 8, a 4-up save on them. They are jump infantry. They do have a 4-up save, a 6-up feel no pain. They come stock with the lightning claws. They have the Volkite Incinerator, which we'll go over the stats. There's 2 different modes of fire. They got a beam, and they got a blast, and it's got deflagrate, so we'll go over that. They are bulky, stubborn. Oh, I guess so they have feel no pain 5. I thought they had feel no pain 6. Maybe, okay, so that's the special rules. That makes sense. Because the Loki Thalax gives them the feel no pain 6-up, so I guess they have it superseded there, and the power fist costs them an extra 10 points each. So the Incinerator, like I said, has 2 different modes of fire, and that's like that straight up Iron Man shooting out of the chest type thing right there. It's a beam at 10 inches, or strength 5, AP 5, or assault 2, deflagrate, or you can be a blast at strength 6, AP 2, melee. Type melee, that can't be right. I don't know. I'll have to look that one up. That doesn't seem right. Instant death, blast. Can't use that in melee. That doesn't work. Well, anyways, I know the beam definitely is deflagrate. So what happens with deflagrate? It's you don't really see that in 40k, but in 30k, basically you roll up all the unsaved wounds, and then you get to make immediate automatic hit attacks again. You just have to roll the wound. In this case, it would be a strength 5. It doesn't get to go infinite. You can't keep doing it, but it's a nice little bonus. You know, if they fail some saves, then you get a couple extra attacks and might get another save through. I don't know. It's extra rolling. Who knows? But like I said, a neat little kit. It's kind of been a long time coming, I feel like, for these guys from Forge World, using some existing parts, some new parts, kind of like an amalgam. But the cool thing that I like about it is they're definitely getting on their packaging game with these new big badass clam packs. And then basically you just kind of slice it open across there. That's kind of what I did, and I just kind of pulled out the little insert there. And if you got a little baggie, you can put all your parts in it, keep all your parts together. Now, these particular ones were a complete pain in the butt to do the wiring and things. I remember with the shooty versions to get all that stuff to line up. So it might be more advantageous when you're assembling these that when you socket them in, you kind of dry fit this little cable coming around, you know, just so you know that it's going to be about the same size, and you don't have to worry about any of that. So very, very cool little kit. I mean, very well detailed. Of course, this is the kind of detail that we're used to from Forge World. You know, really good looking stuff here. You can see from all these little thin lines right here that they got extra gates and extra sprues drilled into there to get better fill from their resin. That everything looks great here, and I really like this big ass turbine on the back. You know, this whole like honking kind of turbine thing. And you can do different poses right here. You can have them like kind of running, kind of like striding, or kind of just like come at me, bro, kind of thing. And then of course they got the little shoulder pad things that go right on top there, just to make them even more kind of badass looking, I guess. So that is pretty much everything for this particular unboxing of the new Mechanicum Ursarax from Forge World.
Deleted scenes, bonus content, and all the interviews and post-game wrap-up videos can be located in the Hall of Veterans on thelongwar.net. Visit thelongwar.net today and try a week completely free with no strings attached. That's not all. Thelongwar.net is also your hobby resource for exclusive early access with an ad-free experience to all your favorite videos. Members of the Hall of Veterans gain early exclusive access to multiple hobby videos.